It was Frank. He's here. Frank has been tormenting us since day one. On the first day of recording for A Squared, he hid one of our lav mics. We needed that lav mic.
He was a student here at Plattsburgh. He was a producer. His name was Frank. Some nights when you go into the edit suites, he'll actually mess up your projects. It's not cool. All right, I got stuff to do in school, and you don't need to be messing up my projects. That's first of all. Second of all, I'm probably gonna be here all night, and there's definitely gonna be some weird stuff going on, especially.
One time, we were recording Card Sports. The audio was fine in the PCR, and then I went to go edit it, and the audio was gone. So I knew it was Frank.
Frank.
Rose.
Oh.
Oh my god, it says please help me. Oh my god. Allison, stop talking to this ghost. Clearly the ghost needs our help.
Clearly.
So I think we need to go find her. And
She's responding hopefully when I said what's wrong.
And then we'll know what's wrong and we can go help her.
Do you want proof?
No, I don't want proof. I don't.
So this is the edit suite where Frank usually frequents.
A lot of students have said they hear knocking when they're here. Frank? Is that you?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's Frank. Close.
Hello, I'm Allison.
And I'm Allison.
And we're A Squared.
I'm A Squared too.
And I'm Allison.
And welcome,
To
because today
Allison.
we're A Squared.
And on Allison today, we'll hear about some A Squared.
But on Allison, we're also going to hear about Allison.
Oh, isn't that just delightful?
I agree, Allison.
I
But here's
agree,
the thing
A
about
Squared.
Allison is what we have to deal with is Allison's and
Allison.
that's okay.
What are you guys doing
know
here?
We were just
This isn't news?
doing
Is this news?
this is news.
This is news,
This
right?
is our
Yeah.
set.
This is news?
Get out of my seat.
Thank God, I had no idea
yeah.
what the intro
Yeah.
was, to be honest. I had no clue.
Hello, I'm Allison.
And I'm Allison.
And welcome to A Squared. Today we're going to look at some of the weirdest and craziest couples Halloween costumes.
We'll play Fear Pong.
You'll hear 50 different Halloween facts in a minute 30.
And finally, we'll discuss the supernatural in real talk.
So Halloween is known for the art of trick-or-treating, but it is also known for some very weird couples costumes. So let's take a look at some of these weird looks, all from Google. So what do you think of this one?
I don't know if I completely understand it because she's saying I drink to forget and he has me. So are they a couple or?
Or just two random buddies?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me either, especially because it's Cards Against Humanity, you know.
I feel like you could have done something a lot better.
You could have done something a lot better. Okay, next costume. So this one is a classic. The plug in the outlet. What do you think of this, Allison?
It's interesting.
This
for
is
sure.
this is definitely a costume for someone that has been dating for a really long time
Yeah.
and is like tired of couples costumes. It just wants to do something like weird. That's definitely where it's at.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of different like variations of this one as well,
Yeah.
like a lock and a key.
Yeah, that one's classic. So, do you know what this is?
Sharknado.
Sharknado.
That's stupid. It's probably the stupidest couples costume I've ever seen.
Okay, next. The whip
I hate this one.
and the nene.
I hate this one.
Why do you hate this one?
X. So stupid.
Fine.
Oh my
That's
god.
Aunt Flo and a Tampax.
Again, very stupid.
Hey, you know what? You have to think though, that's a lot of like hard work that went into making that Tampax box.
I guess.
That's all I
I'll
could give
give
them.
credit for that.
I give them like a 3 out of 10 for that costume. That 3 is just for originality.
Yeah.
Next.
It's not necessarily coupled.
But it is,
I mean, it could be.
yeah, you don't know.
Could be.
I think it's very, like, I think it's,
Big.
yeah, it's a big costumes, and I wonder how they're fitting through doors. That's more my question.
Also, are they like actually attached?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Because if they're actually attached,
Because if they aren't actually attached and they go to a party and separate,
they might just
that
be
would
like,
make the costume
they
look
might-
a little weird.
They might be like, are you guys just like beach balls or something like that? Like, what are you? Cool. Okay, ready?
Have you ever done a couple's costume?
Yes, I have done a couple's costume. I was Babe of the Blue Ox, and my ex was Paul Bunyan, which is hilarious to me because Paul Bunyan is supposed to be like this really big guy, and my ex is 5'5".
Oh.
But he's taller than me, except when I wear heels. What about you?
I've never done a couple's costume. I did a costume with my friend last year. We were Mario and Luigi. And then this year I was gonna do a couple's costume with my boyfriend, but we didn't. We were gonna be Luigi and Peach.
Nice. When we come back, we'll see who can win at Fear Pong.
So don't change that channel, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to A Squared. Tonight's game pairs together 2 friends in a head-to-head battle, but with a twist.
It's us! In our version of Fear Pong, the players, which are us, throw a ping pong ball into a cup on the wall. If you make it, then the other player must do a dare. If the player chooses not to do the dare, then they must share an embarrassing truth.
So let's jump right into it.
So let's get ready, yeah. Someone has
We
to
just
make
suck
it.
at this game.
Do we? So, now that Allison has scored 1, that means I have to do a dare. So, we're gonna go on my phone, and we're gonna go to this cool little dare app, and we're gonna go into teens because they don't have adult, and I have to hit dare. Sing the intro to your favorite television show. Crap.
There's always truth.
I'm trying to think, like, all my shows don't have intro songs.
Friends.
I don't know the intro to Friends.
How do you not know?
I know the intro to Phineas and Ferb, though. Do it. It's 104 days of summer vacation, and school comes along just to end it.
Okay. I think that's good enough.
All
right, that's good enough.
Cool. call a random number and see who picks up. I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna take a truth.
There you go.
Where is your favorite place to be kissed? Somewhere dark.
Oh. Wow, you actually got one.
Okay,
You guys will take it off the wall.
I will.
Put an ice cube down your pants and keep it there until it melts. We don't have an ice cube. So we're gonna go with the truth. What was the worst day of your life? Today. No, I don't know. I don't really have a worst day.
Okay, your turn, because I made one. Yay.
Finally.
Do a cartwheel. Give someone a piggyback ride. I can't.
You can't do a cartwheel?
No, I can't do a cartwheel. Okay, fine. I will try to do a cartwheel, okay? Ooh.
What is that? No.
It's called I'm wearing a dress.
Pick a different one then. That was ridiculous.
Okay. Try to lick your elbow.
Go.
That I can try to do.
Not even.
No, I cannot lick my elbow.
Just what to try. Alright, it's your turn. No! It has to stay in. Ah! So going strong.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to kids.
What are the other guys?
Do an impression of your mom and dad.
Oh god.
None of you know Wendy or Dave Wells, but the impressions are great. And I can easily do my mother.
Do it.
Because I am my mother. So, Allison, did you unload the dishwasher while I was at work today? Nah, I forgot. Well, you should go unload the dishwasher instead of laying here and pretending like you can't hear me when I come through the door. You should know. Unload the dishwasher. Ma, you don't have to yell. I am not yelling. Allison, Diane, go unload the dishwasher. Do not make me go out there, because if I have to unload the dishwasher, we are not going to be happy. Thank you very much.
I guess I won't get it. Number 4. I've been going for that 1 cup for so long.
Recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
Put your hand over your heart.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under Buddha, God, whatever else you believe in. I believe in a goddess. So, a goddess. Indivisible, liberty, and justice for all.
Yay. Wait. Aw. That's 2.
I don't care, I made it.
I can't do that. Do a cartwheel. I haven't done one of these in so long and I'm kind of scared.
I'm backing far away.
This is gonna be so bad. And this is not good, like, surface. Oh, God. Five.
I've given up. Because it was actually sick. Yay, Allison won! Take an embarrassing selfie and post it as your profile picture.
You've already done that. Wow.
Move your
you
sock.
actually had aim.
Remove.
Socks with your teeth? Yes. I'm not wearing socks. You move my Ew, no. Go next door with the measuring cup and ask for a cup of sugar. Yeah. Write your name on the floor with your tongue. Do it. I have no shame. Oh my god, no, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Why don't you pick one? Okay. Eat a whole piece of paper. No, do you need paper? Not clean.
Good, I like this one. Go outside and howl like a wolf for 30 seconds.
It is the Halloween episode.
To me.
Hi, my name's Allison and I lost Fear Pong. And I have to howl like a wolf for 30 seconds. Ready?
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Start the timer.
Okay.
Woo!
That
Woo! Aroo! Woo, 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 woo! Aroo! What?
Keep going.
Aroo! Woo, 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 woo! Woo! It sounds like a fox just got murdered.
Every time you stop,
Woo! Hoo! Hoo! Hoo!
okay.
That's Fear Pong. Hello and welcome back. Instead of the usual minute 30 where I try to read 50 different news stories, one from each state, today I will be trying to read 50 facts about Halloween. Are you ready? Start the timer. Originally, in order to get a treat, you had to dance. Halloween is more Irish than St. Patrick's. You used to have to wear animal-headed skin for Halloween. Jack-o'-lanterns were once made of turnips and radishes. Halloween used to be the day to find your soulmate. Halloween used to be a cabbage night. Halloween might make kids act evil. Halloween is the second grossing holiday. Semophobia is the fear of Halloween. 50% of kids prefer chocolate candy on Halloween. The Village Halloween Parade is the New York City is the largest Halloween parade in the United States. Boston, Massachusetts holds the record for the most jack-o'-lanterns lit at once. Both Salem, Massachusetts and Anoke, Minnesota are the self-proclaimed Halloween capitals of the world. Children are more than twice as likely to be killed in a pedestrian car crash on Halloween than any other night. In many countries, Halloween is seen as an unwanted and over-commercial American influence. Hong Kong is a Halloween celebration are known as the Yulin or Festival of the Hungry Ghosts. I lost my vision. Keep going. Tengchi or the Halloween Festival is the one Halloween festival in China. Halloween is thought to have originated in 4000 BC. 72% of people will hand out candy. 46% of people will carve pumpkins. 40% of planned movie Halloween is such a tight budget it had to use the cheapest mask it could find, which turned out to be William Shatner mask. The word witch comes from the word wees, which means wise woman. Owls were thought to be witches, and to hear an owl's cry meant someone was about to die. The largest pumpkin was 836 pounds. First known mention of trick-or-treating was in 1927 during the ancient celebration of Samhain. That will be a minute 30. When we come back, we'll be joined by Jacob Jabut and Emily Peterson-Stan to discuss the supernatural and conspiracy theories. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome back. It's time for some real talk.
Tonight's topic is on the supernatural. We will discuss ghosts, aliens, and conspiracy theories. Are they actually real? We would like to welcome Jacob and Emily to the panel.
Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Hello.
So, first off, do you guys believe in ghosts?
Yes.
I'm very skeptical.
Why?
Very skeptical. I've actually had an experience of my own with ghosts, but I still just don't, just because I've never seen one or had been touched or any physical evidence. Yeah, I'm skeptical. I gotta say I'm skeptical.
Well,
I feel the same.
my dad's a paranormal investigator, so I kind of have had multiple experiences, having had tagged along with him on certain endeavors.
You must have seen a lot of cool stuff.
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of cool
That's
things.
pretty
I've been in
awesome.
some very, very interesting mansions and abandoned buildings and cemeteries, so many places.
Wow.
My favorite is going to Letchworth Village. It's an old, abandoned, insane asylum community type thing. And we walked into the oldest hospital building, and my dad was like, this is usually hot spot for activity. I'm always getting stuff here, and we got nothing the entire time. And as we were walking through, I made a joke. I was like, oh, maybe whatever's here doesn't like me. Well, when we were leaving, we had other people with us at the time as well. We were kind of showing them what to do. And the woman that was there was like, sweetie, you have footprints on your butt. And there were 4 very pronounced boot prints on my butt in various spots. Very, like, you couldn't deny, like, you could see, and they were very large, and I was just kind of like, oof. So then I went back through my pictures that my dad had took of me, and I can see them progressively collect on my rear. And so I got kicked in the butt by a ghost.
Wow. I have had an experience. The only thing I have had happen to me that I really can't explain, do you know what pewter is? It's like a type of metal. It's pretty heavy. My grandfather had a collection of planes that were made out of pewter. And about a week after he died, I got those planes, and I had them in my room, and I would come into my room sometimes, and they would be either lined up on the ground or they'd be like 5 feet away. And I actually had 2 of my buddies that were listening to music, and they got hit in the back by one of these planes, and I figured, it's probably just because the music was pretty loud. But then it happened to my buddy for the second time. I was like, I don't know. They were in my room, so I was like, I gotta sleep with this.
Directly correlates
Listen,
to a piece of metal projecting itself.
When you're 13, you gotta tell yourself whatever you can to sleep at night.
That's
so that's what I
true.
told myself. And then it happened the second time, and I said, okay, something weird's going on. And I gave my buddy the whole explanation. Yeah. And then so we looked at all the planes, and they were all in the right position. And we left, and it was just me and him home, no music, no windows open.
Okay.
And when we came back into the room, we were joking, like, what would you do if something was messed up, blah, blah, blah. And the very middle plane that had been flying off was flipped, just completely upside down. And it's made out of pewter, it's a metal, so that's the only thing that I've had happen where I'm like, there's really no explanation for how that happened.
Or is there an explanation?
It's a ghost.
Is it the simulation?
Ooh.
Oh, that I would
Simulation.
believe, yeah. I could see
So, do you guys like to explain what the simulation is?
So,
that. Let you take this.
it all starts with the thought that life as we know it is a simulation started by possibly future us trying to see the past, or another being like aliens, but basically it's just the thought that life is a simulation.
It's like the Matrix.
Yeah, the Matrix, exactly. We could go into that. Which is, I very much so believe it. I cannot think of anything else anymore. Anytime something glitchy, I guess you could say, happens in my life, where I'm just kind of like, that was a simulation.
I definitely believe in the simulation. That I believe in because I'm not gonna lie, I listen to a lot of Elon Musk. But he said the probability of us being in based reality is like very little. And he really put it in perspective. He said that if you think about like video games nowadays and like movies, or especially video games, how fast the graphics are progressing, pretty soon, like virtual reality is going to be indistinguishable from actual reality.
Yeah.
So when you think about it like that, I'm like, yeah, I could see us creating another reality, because you look at like movies, it takes about a year to shoot an action movie. But when you watch it, it's only an hour. It takes all the best points from, takes all the best action, puts it into one. So if you think about it, if we came from some like substrate or whatever you want to call it, the simulation makes sense because you create it to make it better than your reality. You play video
So
games.
how bad is the other reality then?
It's probably really boring. He said it was probably pretty boring because you would create it to make play video games because they're more exciting than real life, like escapism. So people probably made this reality to be more exciting than whatever.
Dang, I made
there
my
was.
reality real depressing.
Well, no, it's actually even better because we could be in the boring substrate or whatever.
I want to know who made my virtual reality, because we need to have a conversation. You suck.
We're probably some aliens like take-home project or something, sitting in his locker.
Oh my god.
Like
We're
shelf.
someone's science project.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's Illuminati confirmed.
Oh man, I don't.
I can go into the Illuminati.
Speaking of
Illuminati.
Illuminati,
Speaking of the Illuminati,
they run everything.
and everyone's a reptilian elite.
I've heard that. I don't really necessarily believe it, but I've heard it and seen videos of people like, oh, look at their eyes, like
Yeah,
Miley
like that
Cyrus.
video
Or
of
Mark
Justin Bieber.
Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg drinking the water in his eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
People think
I don't necessarily believe that, but I definitely could see it, why people believe it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of conspiracy theories stem
What if it's
from...
just a glitch in the simulation?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Everything is back to the simulation.
That's because the simulation.
We're in a simulation.
The people running our simulation are like, they're catching on.
We gotta get rid of them
Yeah.
We're all gonna get into some tragic accident in a little bit.
Yeah.
So
when the lights are gonna fall.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So I love you guys.
Yeah, right.
It's been great.
Okay,
Good
so
knowing you.
so you want to really talk about a certain conspiracy theory, the Mandela effect.
Ooh.
So
I've been like following everybody's videos when they keep
Okay.
posting about these.
The Mandela effect put me in such a hole at some point where for about a week straight this summer, all I did was look into Mandela effects and then tried to think of my own. And it's just very much so spun my head upside down. It's the simulation glitching, no big deal. But,
well,
What exactly is the Mandela effect?
ooh.
Because I really don't know.
He
Maybe
doesn't
other
know.
other people that don't
Well-
really know.
Well, it all started when Nelson Mandela was thought to have died in prison, and then he got like released from prison.
Yeah,
it
he's
turned
alive.
out he
Years
had never
later.
died.
Yeah.
And everyone
like, in
remembered
books,
so hard
And in like
that he had died.
history books and everything, it says that like he died in prison and all that stuff when he was still alive. So that's how it all started, and that's where it got its name.
So like
So saying like history could be not what we think it is.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
But not only
Like-
that,
I can see
it goes so much deeper. Things like my favorite one that Shane Dawson talks about all the time is that it's Berenstein Bears, not Berenstein Bears.
Whoa.
like here's one. Kit Kats. Does Kit Kat have a dash in it?
Yeah.
It
No, it
doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It's never had a dash.
Whoa.
Or like
I mean-
Oscar Mayer is actually spelled like Oscar Mayer or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I
How
could-
we remember how Queen We Are the Champions, how that ends, is not how it actually ends.
So instead of
Okay,
we
no,
are the
okay, I know what you're
champions
talking
of the
about, yeah.
world, it's we are the champions. And
Yeah.
or how when you think of Pikachu, you think of this cute little black line across its tail. That's not there.
Or Curious George, he doesn't have a tail.
You
Yeah,
guys
at
have
all.
really gotten into this. You guys so- wow.
You're
Yeah.
gonna have to like rethink everything that you know.
The
Everything
Monopoly
I mean-
guy.
I could definitely see that. People, once they like start saying things over and over, and then they hear other people saying it, they just kind of think that's
It's
what
not
it
tomato
is.
tomato. It's things you think you know that everyone. It's a collective. It's literally just defined as like a collective false memory. So like everybody remembers this one thing that's not actually a thing.
Oh, that
Yeah.
is weird. I gotta look into that more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, literally everybody that I've talked to about this or like seen videos all say it's Berenstein Bears.
It's Berenstein.
It's not Berenstein.
It's never been.
It's
even in
never
the
been
show-
Berenstein.
It's in the show, they say Berenstein Bears. They don't say Berenstein
I've literally,
Bears.
I like vividly remember it even being spelled Berenstein Bears.
And now it's Stein. Who?
This is why the simulation is real, because the
maybe this is just
simulation is going through changing these things, and that's why we have the Mandela effect.
Thanks, simulation creators. You're really making us think we're
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, thank you for that.
So, what are your favorite conspiracy theories?
Well, I know JFK was a big one for me. I did like 2 projects on it, one time in like 5th grade and I think another time in 10th grade. I don't think Oswald, Lee Harvey Oswald was the one that shot him. I think there was definitely someone in the grassy knoll, because some of the research that I did, a lot of the eyewitness reports, if you look at some pictures, everyone's turned looking towards the grassy knoll. A bunch of witnesses reported seeing smoke, they reported gunshots, and a lot of these people that claim this, within about 2 weeks were found dead. And not like in like normal situations, like they were either shot in the head, someone had their head chopped off, like hanging. Yeah.
It's all the simulation.
But yeah, I definitely think they definitely were covering something up. There was also a guy, so say the grassy knoll is here. I don't know if they can really see this, but the grassy knoll is here. And then the car's here where JFK was. Behind him, there was a guy standing on a curb. and he reported a piece of curb actually flew up and hit him in the chin. And the FBI came in and they said, okay, we're gonna take care of this, and they paved over the curb, completely redid it within a day. And then they went back, they had to throw away the evidence, they said, because there wasn't enough room in the storage space.
Sure,
Yeah.
there wasn't enough room.
Yeah, so I think that was a dirty job. I think a lot of people didn't like JFK. I don't know.
But like, I want to know who didn't like JFK because everyone loved JFK.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think the CIA might have not liked him because of the Bay of Pigs. That didn't
Okay.
go too well.
That's fair.
The mafia didn't really like him. His
Well,
family.
Because his whole family had very deep mafia ties. So if you think about it, it very much well could have been a mafia hit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
If anything, I think it was like a collective. I think it could have been mafia and people
CIA,
in government,
yeah.
CIA.
Like
yeah.
kind of collaborating.
I think they. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would believe it. I could follow that.
So Emily, what's your favorite conspiracy theory?
So my favorite is actually one that I don't believe. My favorite is the flat Earth theory.
Yeah.
That annoys
That's
me to
funny.
no end, actually.
Yep.
I genuinely cannot stand this theory, but it is also my favorite because of all of the different ideas that people push together or force together to compile the flat Earth theory, and many different ones that I've heard. So my favorite is, like, I've seen like flat Earth maps or whatever, and one of them shows that the Arctics
Yes, is a circle.
is a big circle around the Earth that goes back to simulation. It contains like the inside of the simulation wall. This is why this is my favorite. It contains the insides of the simulation within this Arctic, like the icebergs and what have you, and it keeps everything in. And a lot of people say that they believe this because planes will avoid the Arctic when flying, and when it's more practical to go that way, they'll go all around. And I think it's crap.
Why wouldn't they just like get in a boat?
Get in a boat and
get
go.
Get your like fly a
there's
plane.
there's so much
and just figure it
facts like to debunk flat Earth theory
I
that it's
know.
almost
It's-
ridiculous that the amount of people that still believe in it. It's like almost like how ridiculous it is the
See-
amount of anti-vaxxers there are.
Yeah. Vaccinate your kids.
Flu season. Ugh.
I'm actually sick. Vaccinate, please. I'm sick.
Yeah.
Measles, mumps.
So then, what's your favorite conspiracy theory that you actually believe in?
Simulation theory, obviously. Well, no, okay, so I do very much so believe in like Illuminati things. Like, it's believed that like Jay-Z and Beyonce are the Illuminati leaders, and their twins are gonna be the next Illuminati leaders. Like that one speaks to me on a deep level. I'm like, yeah, okay, it makes sense.
I mean,
Like Kanye embarrassing Taylor Swift on stage was like her initiation into the Illuminati. You know?
I
So
think
then why
there's-
do they hate her so much?
Because she sucks.
I don't know. I don't think the Illuminati's real. I think there's definitely, there's like the Skull and Bones. You've heard of that?
Yeah.
I think there's definitely groups, but I think it's just people that, a lot of these people are in powerful positions.
Well,
they wear
no.
suits all day. I think, like you heard, like the Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
I think they just want to get naked and jump around a fire
Well, no,
and
there's
let
a
loose.
fact that there is such organization as the Illuminati, but whether or not they're the new power, or the new order.
Oh, the New World
that's,
Order?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
New World Order. That's a whole theory. But there is an organization of like Freemasons that are the Illuminati
Yeah.
organization, and a lot of their, offspring. That's the word I was thinking of. Their generations after them have been people in power, people in office.
Yeah.
Like that's where the bloodlines go, is in office, and that's why a lot of people think that our government needs some reassigning.
Okay.
I think I had a teacher that was actually a Freemason. I don't know if
Really?
the Freemasons is, the only thing I've heard like the Skull and Bones. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
That's weird. I
Yeah,
will say
that's
that
very
is
weird.
weird.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do,
I've
I won't
never
get
heard-
into it,
I've
but they do
never
some
heard of
weird
it.
stuff. You haven't?
You've never heard of it? Okay.
I believe.
so break
what
it down
presidents? Do you
very
remember?
simply.
It's just like pretty much powerful people have like this. They're in this. I think it started in like at MIT or some college, but it's just like a group that these guys joined. There was 2 presidents that were in it. I think it might have been the
Okay.
Bushes. I forget, but they have a very weird like induction ceremony. it includes like being naked and being in like a coffin that you can see, and then they do some things inside of the coffin that I won't get into, but it's a very weird.
Okay.
I don't know what that's all about. I don't think they're really running
Okay.
the world, but
Yeah.
It's definitely
I get
some
it.
cult-like.
yeah, it's definitely a cult.
A lot of people have also said though that a lot of like previous presidents and other people in the bigger office positions have been seen doing occult-like behaviors and that have been covered up. So that's another call to question. But things like occult behavior have been following people with power for many years. Like in Europe, Queen.
Which one?
Mary. Maybe it's not Mary of Scots. I love that woman.
There's so many in Queen Mary's.
I know, but like this one, she would like lure orphans to the castle to like kill them.
Of course she would.
Occult behavior comes with power, ladies and gentlemen. It's Illuminati.
Yeah, I definitely
confirmed.
think there is like cult behavior, like you said.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're pulling the strings on
They're
society so
definitely
much.
not pulling the strings on society. However, I do definitely think that people in power have more power than they say they do, or that everyone wants them to believe that they have.
Yeah.
I think there's also, I don't know, I think a lot of people that are rich, maybe, I don't know if this might be different, but a lot of people
Money
that are
means
rich always think they're not rich. They always think there's always someone richer, like you're not rich, it's always someone else is rich.
Imagine
you know what I
being
mean?
the
There's not-
richest man in the world.
Bill Gates?
Yeah, that's the only time
Like,
it's like,
how
I guess I
how
might be
do
rich.
you just wake up and go, yeah, I don't have enough money yet. Richest man
I
in the
guess I
world.
need to make more money today.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have enough money for these 20 cars that I want. Gotta go make more money.
Bill Gates doesn't let his kids use iPads or anything.
Wow.
What does that say?
Yikes. He wants them to stay humble.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't let our kids use iPads.
I mean, the government
He's
is
not
watching.
Yeah, that's another thing. I wholeheartedly, I cover my cameras, my microphones. I try not to talk about much around my phone. Like this right now, I'm gonna get shot.
See, I don't see that. I really don't. At first, I did think that like people, because like I thought with the 9/11 thing, I don't think 9/11 was an inside job. I think the government capitalized on it. I think the Patriot Act.
That's another one that I could really get
Yeah,
into.
yeah.
That's another one that I could really get into. There are multiple accounts of people saying that it wasn't planes that made the buildings fall. It was
Oh, the
bombs
bombs.
inside the building.
Yeah, I've
Like
heard.
literally, the firefighters that were on duty said, "Hold, there's another bomb in there. Like, get out."
And then I know Shane Dawson showed a video where
Yeah.
the plane glitched.
Yeah, not
As
only
it
did
was
it
going
glitch,
in.
but
So it's
A
all
plane cannot melt
simulation.
a plane cannot
That could have
melt
been the
steel
camera or
beams.
something.
That's true.
It can't. It's physically not possible. They do tests like this on planes every single day to ensure that they're durable and that the buildings are durable. And they don't. The planes crash on impact. The buildings don't. So.
I would have to do more research
Frank
into
just
that.
knocked over some stuff.
Oh God.
I would have to do some more research into that, but I definitely think they capitalized on it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
By passing the Patriot Act, which allowed them to investigate any citizen if
Yeah.
thought to be a terrorist. Which at first that worried me because I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna be listening to me, like, oh my God. And then I realized I actually watched a Joe Rogan special. I'm a big Joe Rogan fan, by the way. I don't know if you know who that is, but he made a joke, and it was about there was a guy that was caught outside the White House, and he had I think it was like 27 guns, a knife, and like a bunch of ammunition. And he literally had a map with an X on the White House. They didn't watch that dude. Like, he ended up breaking into the White House later on. Like, if they're not watching that guy, I don't think they're listening to my conversations, you know? So, I don't know.
My conversations about my Friday night
Yeah.
plans are none of the FBI's
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Yes,
well,
I
my-
don't think they don't care.
Well, my whole thing is if they're watching me, I'm just knitting, you know.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not a terrorist. I got
Yeah.
nothing to
But
worry
also,
about.
it's not necessarily the government either. There are hackers who can hack like your laptop cameras, and
That's
your
a
iPad
good,
cameras, and
good
your phone
credit
cameras.
card information.
Exactly, and not only that, but they can set it up so that your camera is timed to take like a picture every so seconds. So that, and like I'm one where like if I'm at home and I'm changing, I'm not gonna rush
Yeah.
to put.
That's
you
a
know,
good point. You could
like-
have someone hacking it, yeah.
Well-
I'm not trying to have some, that's just another thing
Yeah.
that I'm really wary about
But-
is hacking.
But I want to thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you, Emily
You're very
and
welcome.
Jacob.
Absolutely.
And when we come back, we got a surprise for all of you. So stay tuned.
stupid stuff.
Welcome back. And before we end the show today, we're going to tell some ghost stories.
Do you have any?
So I have one ghost story that we used to tell a lot when I was camping, and it used to actually freak me out as a child. And it's about this man who's searching for his leg that's missing. So the story is that this man, he's going around, he was a janitor at a school, he was a horrible, horrible, horrible man. And these kids were like, we gotta get rid of him. You know, he's a horrible person, we gotta get rid of him. So one day he's out in the woods and he's hunting, you know, and the kids take their chance. And you know, one thing leads to another, you know, the man's now missing a leg, all stuff. So the kids finally think they've gotten rid of him. And they go back to their tents and they're sleeping, and all of a sudden they hear, "Where's my foot?" And he bursts through the tent, and they never found the kids again. And that was the story my mother used to tell me when we were camping, and it used to terrify me to no end. The idea that there was a man in the woods searching for his leg and that he will never ever find his leg, and he cakes children because he can't find his leg. Do you have any good ghost stories?
Well, one of them I kind of experienced and another one I didn't. My mom told me this story about after my great-grandfather died. It was, I think she was getting ready for her wedding, and his picture fell over.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody touched it, like nothing, and that was the only picture that had fallen over. So that was one thing. And then the one that like I kind of experienced is my boyfriend says his apartment is haunted.
Yeah.
That, you know, people that he's had sleep over have woken up in the middle of the night and like seen a face right above him or whatever. I kind of didn't really believe it that much until one day I was over and, you know, we were like in his living room. And all of a sudden, like in the kitchen, something that was like in the middle of his fridge, on top of his fridge, just fell. And like, it didn't just like kind of like fall like stuff does. It kind of like projected across.
Oh gosh.
Which was like a little freaky, but we haven't really had anything else like that happen.
My mom told me a story once that so the house that I lived in until I was 7 has been in my family since my family came over from Ireland. So it's an extremely old house. A lot of people have lived in that house. One person in particular would be my great-grandpa Hoos. My great-grandfather loved to play practical jokes. That was his thing. He was a jokester. So one day, my mom does this thing called Stampin' Up. I don't know if you guys know what Stampin' Up is, but it's like you make cards. It's like scrapbooking, but with cards. So my mom was looking for her markers everywhere. And she's like, I know where I put them, and they're not in my Stampin' Up area. Where are these markers? She searches, cannot find them. Goes upstairs, they're in her bed. And she's like, it was your grandfather. It had to be your great-grandfather, because she's like, he's the only person that would do something like that. No, she's like, I was alone in the house. She's like, there's no way, like I had taken the markers and put them in my bed. It's crazy. And that's all the time we have for today, folks.
Tune in next time for more fun and games.
Be sure to check out the other shows right here on PSTV, like Inside the News, Platt's Life, Mockingbird, and Focal Point.
Also check out Turn It Up, Talk Nerdy to Me, and Cardinal Sports.
That's all from A Squared. See you next time.